Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi. You notice anything different? Anything sound different? Maybe my voice sounds a bit more clearer? Anybody able to hear me? Have you been a good chat today? Louder and nicer. Perfect. Oh my god, this... I just dropped something. Oh well. Man, this is gonna take some getting used to. And also, the frickin' frog blinking where I go. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me see. Maybe I can adjust this. Is that better? Oh, that might actually be better. So I sound louder? I sound clearer? Does that sound nice to you? Does my voice sound better? Man, it's been a while since I last streamed, but what I did is I hired somebody to help me with my audio settings, and thanks to that, I sound a lot better, and I don't sound like I'm in a room filled with fog. That was a really big issue I was having for a while. Yeah, I just have a lot of stuff to talk about. I've mainly been hanging out in other people's streams lately, just because I was like, okay, I really want to get this fixed. And I set it up so that I can, what's it called? I set it up so that, what's that say? Big, you can, big, I can what? Huh? I've basically been hanging out in other people's streams lately because I've been very tired, honestly. I haven't felt like playing any games. It's because I didn't say anything after, I kind of like zoned out for a second. And then I started, popping my mouth going. I don't know if you heard any of that, but that's what I did. Oh, so here in 9 hours, I'm going to be going on vacation with... Oh, the popping gets canceled out after a few pops. Ooh, interesting. I was going to say, in about 9 hours, I'm going to be going on vacation with my mom for a week. We're just going to be going to Colorado to visit for some family. Oh my god, why is my tracking so bad? Dude, let me track properly. What about this? Does this look better? Oh my God. Yeah, we're going to be going on vacation for a week. I should have access to internet. I'm not going to stream because that's going to be annoying to try to do. I am going to be bringing my laptop with me. You might see me just play games in other people's streams or just like hang out there. Cause like, like it makes no sense to have a streaming set up at like the place we're going to. I'm going to do my best to just, you know, enjoy the vacation. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Because it is going to be for like a whole week. Like I'm not coming back until next Saturday. Oh my God. I've never been on a vacation that was just a vacation. So I kind of don't know what to expect. Yeah, it has been really busy lately. Oh my God. I've been trying to do a lot of stuff in the back end. Like getting this audio stuff fixed. And even now, I don't know if this is perfect. I know that I have a very... I have a very soft-spoken voice. And because of that, the white noise in my room often picks up the white noise in my room is at the same level as the soft tones in my voice. It's not good. It makes it very difficult to be able to do things the way I want to. And that's part of why I sounded so echoey. Like when I streamed and like it sounded like there was fog everywhere. Cause like the mic I have is a good mic. However, it picks up everything around it. And I just have so much stuff like going on in here. So hopefully it's going to be better going forward. I did want to play some Elden Ring, but I decided against it because I was like, I just wasn't in the mood. I don't know why. I just didn't feel like in the mood for Elden Ring today. So I figured I would just get up on here and yap instead. Oh, there's going to be an ad break in like a minute or so. So just be prepared for that. What words do I have to describe what's been happening lately? Yeah, it's just been preparing for this vacation. Work has been very, very, very tiring lately. And my boss is just so insane. And I don't know how she has this job still. Like, multiple people have reported her to the ethics line and multiple people have reported her to HR. And I'm like, something needs to change. If you have this many people reporting to you, something is wrong. Something is heavily wrong. And so far they haven't done any investigating or any investigations. They haven't talked to anybody on site. My work stories are always terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. It's just really terrifying. Like, my first job that I had was at like grocery stores. I had worked at one grocery store, then another. And for those 3 grocery stores, it was annoying. Like, one of them, actually no, 2 of those places worked me so hard that I ended up with health issues. And the other one was just comfortable. And it was very comfortable because nothing much was happening there. It was actually a store that was closing down, basically. So I didn't really have to worry about much there. It wasn't very busy. I was going to college during that time. So a lot of the times I would just sit behind the cashier counter and I would be like, oh, I'm just gonna vibe here. Not a big deal, nothing crazy. And sometimes I'd bring in carts, but it was easy and it was fun and I enjoyed that. But the other 2 grocery store jobs, I was like a cart pusher and a bathroom cleaner. And I didn't mind cleaning up the bathroom stuff because they gave you a lot of like protection, like gloves and stuff. So I was able to do all of that without worrying about being dirty. And then whenever I went to go put in the carts, it was so easy. I just got to go and put on my headphones and walk through the parking lot and push everything in. It wasn't anything crazy. And then the other grocery job I had was one where I worked in the deli, and I hated that. They were always underprepared for the deli. And when I first got hired, I told them, hey, I need these set of days off because I'm going to be out of town. We already have the plane tickets. There's nothing I can do. And they're like, okay, yeah, we can work around that. And then they moved me to a place where someone else is going out of town. And they're like, well, if you can't work those days, you're going to be fired. Expect to not have a job. And I was like, okay, fine with me. I don't need a job here. This is a fucking grocery store, dude. And the deli was terrible. Literally, like, when I worked at the deli, I would literally end up with shoes covered in soap and chicken blood every single night. And I was like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm done with it. And you're supposed to have 2 people there every night to help with closing, but they always just had one. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. I don't want to do that anymore. It's tiring. Ugh. Disgusting. But yeah, those are my first 3 jobs at least. After that is when I started getting into jobs more associated to my current field. I worked for a job that was a contractor of a big internet company that I cannot say the name of. And nobody knew that we were contractors. But the company was like, hey, you get to handle technical support, sales, billing, all of that type of stuff. That's what you guys help out in. And I was like, okay. And the thing I liked the most about the company is that they had a massive, how do I put this? It's like a massive Wikipedia page, but a company-wide Wikipedia page. And that whole page detailed like everything to do in every specific situation. So as long as you could find the page you needed, you could fix anything. And that's what I really, really loved. Just being able to find the thing, fix it, and have the notes there. Yeah, they resource guide, yeah. It was so amazing being able to look up everything that was happening and be able to confidently walk somebody through every single step of the process. And then I was so good at my job there that they kept, promoting me. So at first I was just a call center person. I would write posts stating, hey, this is how you fix this thing. And it would just be copy and pastes with links from their website being like, hey, this is how you fix this thing. And then after that, it was, they promoted me. And then it was, oh, now I'm doing technical support. And so if this link doesn't help you, then I have to go through, do some back-end stuff and further troubleshooting with the information I found in the manuals in order to help you get your problem fixed. And then they promoted me again. And that promotion involved being the person that writes the manuals. Like, I would take calls, but the calls would be for tech support, and bills and sales and stuff like that too. But I really loved the part where I got to like write out all of the details on how to handle things. That was like my favorite part of it, I think. And oh my god, I have so many stories about the shit that happened there. I wouldn't be surprised if I get banned off Twitch for the sexual stories, but I'm gonna try to not say anything explicit. Who's ready to hear me speedrun Twitch moderation? Okay, so here's what happened. My job at that place was filled with characters. Like, I have so many stories that I actually don't know where to start. The person in charge of quality assurance was caught getting her back blown out in the parking lot by one of the people that was being trained. And I was like, everybody was just looking out the window because we're on the second floor of the building and you can look out the window and see the person's passenger door open with her bent down inside the car and action just happening. And you're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening here? Yeah, in the open, in a basically empty parking lot. And I was like, how do you not see this shit happening in front of you? Oh my god, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. Disgusting. And then I told the story a different time, but this is the same place where there's this meme called a lightly used couch. And it was being sold on Facebook Marketplace. And it was a meme where it looks like somebody has like sprayed water on the couch. Basically what happened was I was working at the job one day and there was nobody else in my area. And I was like, damn, where did everybody go? And they all eventually came back, but I just assumed they all went like on a lunch together or something. Nothing ever happened. Like busyness at the job. So I was just like, yeah, I don't really mind. So what happened was I learned about this, I think it was that night or the next day, but there was a girl in the other department who only has one arm. That's very important to the story. She was cheating on her baby daddy with somebody at our job. And she found out that the baby daddy was cheating with someone at his job. And so she was like, oh, I need to get back at him. And so she went up to a bunch of the coworkers I had and was like, hey, would anybody be willing to help me for some bags of grass? And they were like, oh, sure. And they just thought that she was moving to a different apartment. That's all that they thought that she was doing. Which, honestly, like, can you blame her for asking for help since she only had one arm? And they were like, oh, yeah, she just needed help moving apartments. That wasn't what she needed the help for, though. So, grass, yeah, grass. Grass, wink, 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 wink. I'm winking hard. Anyway, so they all got there. They all moved everything into the U-Haul truck except for this one couch. And then she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave this couch here. Hey, do you guys want to have some fun? Thank you for the follow eclipse. And they proceeded to run a train on her on the couch. Oh, I hit the follower code. Oh my god. But yeah. Oh, right, a hydrate. I should hydrate, shouldn't I? The couch was inside. They left that inside. So the couch got very much used because she was the equivalent of a water hose sprinkler. Yes, yes. And so the baby daddy came home that day and found that all of the shit was gone except for the couch. And she messaged him like, hey, I left you a little gift. And it's just the fucking couch. And so she just immediately went back to work. And then she did nothing but sleep in her car, work, and sleep in her car in our parking lot. That's all she did for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, because there were news fans outside our job. Because I don't know if news articles just picked it up, so it was on Twitter or what, but they were like, a now single father has had his house emptied by his baby mama, and there will be more news at 10. So like, I don't know how it all got picked up. All I know is that he tried putting that couch on Facebook Marketplace, then creating the lightly used couch meme, which is insanity to me. Oh my god. But our HR department was like, hey everybody, please do not interact with the news crews outside. We know there's a situation that's happened, but don't involve yourself in it. Just, you know, do your own thing, blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, it was so stupid. Also, there's another ad break in like 4 minutes. And I want to have it set up so that it goes every hour, but I don't know how to do that. I feel dumb for not knowing how to do that either. So I'm so sorry if you do get ads. I'm gonna try to snooze this one. But anyway, like, she still worked there. She worked there until the job shut down. But like, I remember this story because this story happened like maybe 6 or 7 years ago. It was before COVID. And I was like, hey, I went on Facebook and I was like, hey guys, does anybody remember this happening? I want to make sure this wasn't like what's it called? A dream, a crazy ass dream I had. And everyone was like, no, that happened. There's the news article. That actually happened at our job. And I was like, okay, awesome, perfect. I'm glad to know that actually happened at our job. A fever dream. Yeah, I was like, I was like, was this a fucking fever dream? No. Everybody was messaging me being like, yeah, that happened. That happened at our job. But our job was terrible. Like, we had quote unquote cleaning people that didn't actually clean anything. They would walk around and they would spray stuff, and that would be it. And we talked to HR about it, and they're like, oh, they're supposed to be doing more than that. That's so weird that they're not. And I'm like, yeah, it's almost like they need to actually do what they're supposed to do and like vacuum and wipe down desks and stuff. Because this was before COVID that we were making a big stink about it. Because I was like, hey, if you're going to have us keep working in an office, it needs to be clean. And then they're like, okay, you know what? You're right. It does need to be clean. And we're like, okay, so can we handle it? And they're like, no, you're not allowed to clean. That's not in your job titles. And I'm like, okay, so the cleaning people aren't doing their job. And we have a very imminent threat on the way. And you're telling us we cannot clean because it's not in our job title. Anyway, the operations manager was like, hey, that's a fucking stupid idea. And so just like let us all into the building to clean it. And then at some point, HR showed up, the same HR lady that said we weren't allowed to clean, and was like, oh my God, y'all are doing such an amazing job at cleaning. And then she brought like a roll of like paper towels as if that would fix the fact that she banned us from doing it in the first place, and was like, oh my God, look, I brought paper towels. Oh, I'm going to take pictures of you guys doing this. It's so inspirational that you guys are cleaning and trying to keep each other safe in this time. Did you read this title right? Yeah, I'm going to be taking a vacation and I'm going with my mom to visit family. So I'm actually going to be going out and touching grass. Literal grass, not figurative grass. But hi, welcome in, Choco 8 Buns. Choco 8 Buns? But yeah, everybody hated our HR. It was so... They're so stupid. Like, we offered to help clean up the place because we want to be safe. And the people you hired aren't doing shit. And yet they're like, no, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that you'll be written up if you clean up. And then I'm going to be like, come up while you're doing it and be like, oh my God, you're all so beautiful and such sweethearts, working so hard to ensure that we're all safe from everything. I hate those guys so much. I really do. Oh my God. And there's so many stories I have from that job, and there's probably some that I won't even be able to bring up here just because I forgot them. But like, we were all worried about the health because our job had a track record of being terrible at cleaning up anything. Like, every desk was supposed to be locked because we handled private information. Tell me why somebody brought in a whole rotisserie chicken, left it in a desk, and it wasn't found for over 6 months. Tell me how. And people would bring in food all the time. You weren't supposed to, but people did. And then, oh, what else happened? Oh, right. So the break room that we had, you know, you're supposed to have a break room. It's where people go to eat their lunches and all that type of thing. Anyway, people were like digging through the break room to be like, hey, let's see what's in here. And we may or may not have actually found like Valentina sauce that expired in 2010 when the building first, or when this company first moved into the building, as well as multiple Tupperware containers filled with mold. One was filled with what's it called? Moths. There was just living moths inside this Tupperware container. I don't know how that happens. But what I do know is that one of my friends, she walked into the break room one day, and it was like later in the day, you know, there's not as many people around. And so she walks in. You fell into grass and your hand is burning? I'm so sorry. That's gonna be me soon. It really is. But my friend walked into the break room because we had like a little vending machine in there. They had drinks and one had ice cream and all that type of stuff. And she walks in, turns, and just sees... How do I put this? One of my coworkers bent over the table, receiving a linebacker in the break room. The break room has no doors, by the way. It's just straight up open area. Like literally just receiving from this linebacker. And it was fucking insane. I don't know what the fuck kind of... What the hell? What the helly? But it was true. Apparently, up to 3 people viewed that thing happening. They also caught it on camera, but they were like, nah, it's fine. They can stay. And so they didn't get fired. Ad's about to start in 15 seconds. Don't know why it's so fast. In fact, let me see. While that ad is going, let me see if I can figure out how to adjust the ads on my frickin' channel. Monetization. Ads. Let's see. How many minutes of video ads do you want to run per hour? I think 5 minutes is fine. Oh, it does a 1.5 minute ad break every... Oh, no, it's not what I want. How do I do that? This is such a pain. You gotta go. Bye, Mia. Thank you for stopping by. Ads? Yeah, I know, ads. I'm like, how do I fix this? Because I don't know. There's like something that says ad break and frequency. I can do a 3-minute ad break every 36 minutes. I think I would like a 5-minute ad break every like... Okay, I guess it's gonna do a 3-minute ad break every... Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. 3-minute ad break every 60 minutes. Perfect. That's what I want. Okay. I don't know if this is going to automatically be adjusted or not, but hopefully it is. So when how do I put this? Yeah, those people were not fired, which is crazy to me. because you want to know who was fired? Somebody who is in a wheelchair, a mechanized wheelchair, who she got fired because they could not visibly see her badge. Her badge had fallen under her lap. Crazy to me. You've never gotten ads on Twitch? That's good. That's good then. I'm glad. But yeah, for some reason, they fired her. Not... but not the people that were banging it out in the break room, which is crazy to me. Why would you do that? Sorry about that, I had to blow my nose. Hopefully that's better now. Whew, okay. What else happened at that job? I walked into a break room and saw a very filled up balloon. I then proceeded to not touch it and just walk away. Should you go to a sauna today? Yeah. Yeah, go take a relaxing day. Like, honestly, that's part of what I'm going on this vacation for. Apparently, our family has a hot tub, and I'm gonna be in that thing. I actually love heated pools and hot tubs. It's just that there's not any around here, and I don't know why that is. But yeah, I really want to go, and I really want to see a... I'd love to go to a hot spring. I don't know if there's any around, but I just want to go and I want to rest somewhere that's hot. Oh, you have a sauna in your house? That sounds awesome. Oh my god, honestly, like... I think I would kill for a sauna, because, like, that would just feel amazing. I think I'd actually prefer a hot tub, though, still. Because I've got bad bone syndrome, and being able to rest in a hot tub helps a lot. Being in the heat doesn't. Being in a hot tub does. I live in Texas, it's way too hot here, and I will stand by that. Honestly, if I was cooked, like, medium in a hot tub, I think I'd turn out just fine. I think I would. Oh, now I'm just messing with my hair. Oh, I have so much hair. Okay. Oh, I turned the microphone away from me. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. There we go. What other stories do I have at that job? Oh, so the job itself was actually really, really easy. And it was easy because there's guides for everything, like the step-by-step process for every single situation. And because of that, whenever I was working, they were like, oh, you know, you have to have a minimum of 10 cases a week. And they got mad at me because I was doing so many cases that it was making the rest of the department look bad. And I said, good. So I started taking more cases. And I took like, I think I took 80 cases in 1 week. And then my boss said, no more than 20 cases a week. And I said, okay. So I took my 20 cases on Monday, and then I would sleep every single day at my desk. And it was wonderful. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to have me work? If I work, then you guys get in trouble. Because that's how bad everyone is at the job. Like, it was actually crazy. And so I was like, yeah, you guys, it's so over. It's so over for you guys. I keep yawning because I'm not used to talking so much again. Bleh. But yeah, I would always fall asleep at my desk and they would just let me, because if I start working, all the cases are going to be gone. And if all the cases are gone, that means no one else can do shit for the week. It's just, the job was so easy and I really did enjoy it. It was, the biggest issue with it is that it was like 15 an hour. Like, they started you at 15 an hour and then you get promoted and then you're making, I think it was 17 an hour. And then you get promoted again and you're making 18 an hour. And then I remember at a certain point, they were like, hey, we're going to be raising everybody's, we're going to raise everybody's pay. That's the word. We're going to raise everybody's pay. So they did that. And they're like, starting this date, everyone's going to be paid $18 an hour. And I said, how does that make sense for the people that have been promoted all the way up and up and up and up to this position? Like, that literally makes no sense. It's like, hey, I know that you're expected to do a higher tier of work, but, big but here, we're going to pay you the same amount as an entry-level position. We're going to ignore tenure and how long you've been here, and everybody's just getting paid a straight $18 across the board. Terrible. Terrible place. I hated it. Oh my god. Let me think, what else happened at that place? My coworkers and I used to go and drink a lot and then sing karaoke. And that's where I kind of refound my love of music again, because I kind of stopped listening to music for a while. Like, I would listen to repeats of songs, but I never really adventured out for stuff to sing or even tried singing until drunken karaoke. Then I didn't give a shit about how I sounded. I was just fucking duking it out to some Fall Out Boy. It was great, honestly. Honestly, thinking on it, I don't really go drinking anymore, just because, like, I'd rather drink with friends, and ever since COVID, like, most of my friends have moved to places to be able to continue living a job that was work from home, or like somewhere that's not shitty like Texas is. And like, because of that, I don't have as many like real life friends anymore. Everybody I know is just online. I kind of like grew distant to a lot of people, so I don't really drink very often anymore. I think it'd be fun to occasionally though. I just gotta find the right people to be able to, like, drink with, you know? Man, I'm still thinking about how bad my job was. Oh my god. Here's a story. A kidnapping occurred at my job. That's a fun one. And it was like 2 weeks before I got there, so the whole place was talking about it. So apparently what happened was there was a worker. She was a team lead, so she was in a managerial position, and her ex-boyfriend came to the job looking for her and had like had a thunder cannon. Had a thunder cannon that he was carrying and was like, I need to talk to my girlfriend. I need her out here now. And the HR representative came out and said, looked at his thunder cannon and said, hey, you know what? Let me go get her for you. And she did. Police were not called. No one had seen her after that for years. Apparently, what happened was she was like, she was able to call the police herself afterwards and was put into protection for like 3 years while they got all the evidence to put the guy in jail. And then after being thrown in jail, then she finally got back on Facebook and all that type of stuff. But yeah, HR just straight up let this girl get kidnapped at the job with no police involvement, which is insane. And it's still that same HR lady I was talking about. She also called one of my friends and was like, hey, you know, you need to turn in your equipment. By the way, he quit the job. And when you quit your job at that place, you have to turn in your equipment before 2 weeks is up, because they like shell out the money for your equipment. And so he quit. He was like, yeah, I'm done here. And she was like, okay, in that case, please return your equipment now. Otherwise, I'm going to get your green card revoked. And he was like, I was born here. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that woman? Yeah, there was something definitely wrong with her. She was so filled with anger and like did not like anybody at all. Like, disrespectful to every single person she came across, honestly. And like, what are you supposed to do when it's the actual head of HR? Like, who do you go to? Some people went to the CEO since he was in the same building, but it didn't do anything. It really didn't. It was just such a nightmare, honestly. Oh. I'm trying to think if I had any other stories about that place, because there really was a lot to happen there. Like, I'm gonna have to save one story for a different time. But I will say that one of the bosses there, I would go as far to say that he's a sexual predator and offender. Because he literally did nothing but look at porn on his computer all day, even during meetings with his teammates. And he had over 20 sexual harassment claims against him at the job, too. It was, oh my god, it was so bad. And of course, they never fired him. Don't know why. I feel like a lot of the time, like with these types of jobs, HR does nothing. And I feel like that's something I've noticed being in the workforce now for around 10 years, maybe. Like, the jobs, they don't care. There's nothing. The more higher up you get in a position, the less human you become in terms of like your morality and things like that. Because you would think, oh, hey, we have a pandemic that's about to occur and people are complaining about the cleanliness. Maybe we should let them do what they need to do and talk with our cleaning staff to make sure things are properly being taken care of. No, we're threatened with write-ups instead. You'd think, hey, maybe somebody that has, I can hear my cat scratching the door outside. Maybe somebody that has 26 sexual harassment claims against him should be fired. No, they just keep him because it's easier to keep him than it is to go through the harassment claims. Like every single one that he had been closed out by HR. And this job, honestly, it's just a crazy one. Like, everybody, there's literally only one person that's an issue at my job, and it's my boss. Like, I work for a bank, right? I watch cameras in the back. The bank is out front, but there's a secondary door to the back that can be entered. There are guards that are armed that are inside the bank area, but not in my area. And I tell my boss, hey, I think we should have an armed guard by our door just in case if anything happens, because this building is a part of the overall bank building. However, people outside won't know that we're not connected like that. And she's like, actually, I would feel less safe if there was an armed guard here. And I'm like, how would you feel less safe? How does that make any sense? We work with the armed guards ourselves. And you would feel unsafe if one was there specifically to protect us? That makes no sense. And I just argued with her, like being like, no, I disagree. I think one guard is better than none, because if things go bad, there's only one door, and on the other side of our area that leads over to the actual bank. They will not be able to get here in time. However, having one guard is a very big difference. Very, very big. And she was like, no, I wouldn't feel safe having a guard, and I wouldn't want to, blah, 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 blah. He'd probably just be on his phone all day. And I'm like, I don't care if he's on his phone all day. The simple fact of the matter is that everybody that's on our side, no one is allowed to carry. Which, okay, that's fine. However, we have an unsecured door that people can enter through. And that needs a guard there. I think that makes sense. But she did not. And so I was like, you know what? We're gonna agree to disagree, because there's not a single damn thing you can say to convince me of my point, that my point is inaccurate. And after I said that, she then started asking every other person on the floor, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And I would be like, well, Pan said, da-da-da-da. Pan doesn't feel safe here. Pan thinks we should have another guard. Pan thinks that their life is in danger. And I'm like, I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying that I don't feel safe. I'm saying that it makes sense for us to have a guard. It is more safe for us to have one guard compared to none. And she refused to accept that fact. And then there's stuff like the fact that we watch a bunch of different banks. Not just the one that we're at, but a bunch of other ones too. And one issue that they had talked about is how some banks are being monitored by separate alarm companies, but that how do I say this? They're being monitored by separate alarm companies, and sometimes it's for no reason. And so it's just extra funds being taken out of the company pocket. Well, my coworker was like, hey, I accidentally called the wrong alarm company service because we have multiple. There's multiple branches. And he's like, and they said that they're monitoring this branch. When I checked our list, they're not supposed to be. And she says, stop making up stuff. You called the wrong place. Just let it be known you called the wrong place. Don't make this into a big deal. Stop trying to find answers when you just messed up. Then her boss comes in, and we find out that multiple alarm companies are set for each, what's it called? For each branch, because if the cameras go down at one, we can then have either set of alarm companies come out to fix them. So if one's like, oh, we're too busy, we can't hold up, then the other one might be able to be like, okay, we can actually go fix that. That makes sense to me. But the fact that she was so willing to be dismissive of what her own team had to say and not look into it at all on her own. Because all it would have taken is one question to her boss, and her boss would have been able to immediately answer with the details of it. And that's what drives me nuts, because it's like, dude, come on. And then also, she's been going crazy lately too. She's in charge of 2 separate lines of businesses now at our place. And the other team was like, oh yeah, the managers of these other banks, you know, boss name is talking with them, but for whatever reason, the managers aren't giving out that information to their employees. And she heard her name come up and started yelling at them and was like, I know you're not saying my name out here like this. Now y'all can go and y'all can have your little bitch fits, but how dare you say my name? How dare you come out here and be putting my name in your mouth? You guys want things to be fixed so badly, but no one's telling me about it. No, y'all are all talking to yourselves and bringing my name into it and blah, 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 blah. And she was yelling at them. And mind you, they were not saying her name in a mean-spirited manner. They were not bringing up her name out of nowhere. She is our boss. She makes the rules. We specifically stated, or they specifically stated, our boss has the rules, has sent these rules to a manager. And she crashed out about it. And she is the primary issue that we're having at our job right now. Because it's like, come on. How are you going to be like this? Like, cursing out at staff over stuff. She's randomly pulls up cameras to watch when we go on our breaks, and then counts down every single minute to ensure that we're not overstaying our break. Like, somebody went on their 15-minute break, was 2 minutes late. A whole 2 minutes. Because we get 2 free 15-minute breaks and 1 unpaid for lunch. So 2 paid 15, 1 unpaid 30. And someone came in 17 minutes. And she's like, well, that better be your lunch because you only get your 15. Over 2 minutes. And that's insane to me that she just acts like this all the time. And like I said, people have reached out to the ethics hotline. People have reached out to HR, and just absolutely nothing is being done to change it. And because of all that stuff happening, that's why I'm so excited for my vacation. Honestly, it's going to be great getting away from it all. I should be back next Saturday, but I don't know how much I'm going to be able to stream, because some of you might not know this, but I was born with this, I guess, condition. It's called congenital spinal stenosis, and it basically means the shortening of, actually, how do I put it? So you know how there's like a cable in your spine, basically. Imagine that cable is so stuffed that like the power is not getting to places. That's basically what's happening to me. And my doctor was like when I got this diagnosed all those years ago, I think it was actually like 5 years ago or something, my doctor was like, okay, here's the thing, Pan. You were born with this. This is going to be an issue. You can exercise to slow it. However, as of right now, you'll have to... He like gave me a specific age around when he thought it would get to a point where I would start to have to really consider the surgery. And he was fucking spot on about that. But basically the way that he described it is they want to hold off on the surgery for as long as possible because they want to hold off on any types of spinal surgeries until it gets to a point where it is unmanageable. And I'm currently at that point because he said the main indicator you will experience is when you start to feel numbness throughout your entire left arm. And I am now at that point. My pinky and ring finger, it's like constant pins and needles now. And then my middle finger is like halfway there. And this just happened all of a sudden, like over this past month. And I'm like, okay, that probably means that it's about time for this to happen. And it's just really crazy because like my left hand has always felt pretty uncomfortable this past year. And now I'm like, I wonder if it was feeling uncomfortable because of the like nerve issues I was experiencing. So after I get back from vacation, I'm going to be meeting with the doctor to be like, hey doc, what do you think? How are you feeling about this? And I might get a second opinion as well, because I don't know a lot about like this type of thing, which you think I would, because it's an illness that I have, but I don't know a lot about it. I know that my nerves are too tightly wound up in my neck to properly go where they need to go, or to properly send signals where they need to go. That's a better word for it. And so I'm just stuck here like figuring out, should I get another x-ray done? Should I get a second opinion to make sure this is exactly what I need? Because the one thing I don't like about my doctor is that he's very stubborn and very confident. He does not like to stick around to answer questions. He's like, I've said exactly what's wrong with you and you need to accept that, and I'm gonna leave now. And that's it. That's literally what he says. So my plan currently is I want to go on vacation. That's going to use up the last of my vacation days for the year. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to figure out what the situation is with my spine. Is it time for surgery? Is it time to figure out what the next steps are? Blah, blah, blah. And then after that, I'm going to schedule it. So I don't know how active my content is going to be for a while, just because I'm handling this right now. But you'll still see me, because I still love playing video games. I still love hanging out with friends. If I am able to stream, I will be streaming. Let's put it that way. Because I do enjoy doing this type of thing. I enjoy being able to actually yap and have people, you know, listen to me. Like, it's nice. So, thank you guys for actually, like, always being willing to listen when I'm just yapping about nothing, even. Ugh. Oh, I'm just stretching. But yeah, that's something that I'm having to do, and it sucks, but I have to do it. Words. Oh, right, and then with my job, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm either going to have to go on, like, medical leave with my job, or I'm going to have to be like, hey, boss, I need to work from home. I need to work from home permanently. Wink. Because my back is fucky. And then I have to hope that she'll accept that. But I don't know if she will, because her biggest issue with people working from home is that she can't handle it. Even though she claims that she's constantly working 24/7, like even on the weekends, what is she doing? Working from home on the weekends. What does she not like having people do? Work from home. It's so crazy too, because like everything she says is just power trips. That's it. Like, she got control over this other line of business, and the line of business does not run on the weekends at all, because there's nothing for them to watch over the weekend. All their stuff is closed. And she saw their schedule and saw that they work Monday through Friday, and she said, oh no, I don't believe anybody should have weekends off. So stupid. God. But yeah, I'm glad. I just want to let you all know that in short, I'm going on vacation. You still might see me in other people's streams. Claim your free daily fresh air. Step outside for 10 minutes to refresh your sanity meter. I know! That's what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully I can show other people what the area is like. Because to my understanding, my family lives in like a cottage in the forest. And they have internet. So I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I can like go out. I wonder if I can go out and like stream walking around and stuff. Yeah, for touching grass. Yeah. By the way, welcome in, Aiden P29. Welcome in. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I know it's only August, so I don't think there's going to be snow there. But I'm curious to see what type of nature they have. Like, is it going to be like a bunch of pine trees? Is it just regular forest trees? I don't know. But yeah, they just live out in the nature there. So I'm really excited to go see what that's like. I still like my technology though, but I'll be able to get a lot of fresh air. I'm planning to not do a vlog, but like do a walk around showing everybody what's going on. Yeah. I'm probably going to stop streaming for now. So I have to start packing because I leave in like 8 hours. But let me see if there's anybody that I can raid. Because I don't know if anybody is live right now. Raid. Alright, let's see who'll be live. Who'll be live on this day. Oh. I guess I'll try raiding into Oshi Ball. It looks like Oshi Ball is playing Mecha Break. That sounds interesting. Alright. I'm gonna raid into Oshi Ball. I'm unable to raid at this time. Oh, fine. Fine. Okay, can I raid into someone else then? Let me see. There's no way. Yeah, I guess there's no one here I can really raid into this time. Man, there's no one live. I even said similar size and there's like no one here too. That's crazy. Your mom always told you to touch grass, not ass. Nice. Okay. In that case, I'm just going to go ahead and end stream. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out while I yap and all that type of stuff. Hopefully there'll be more streams at some point, but as of right now, it's time for me to go on vacation. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye.